So, welcome everyone to another episode of our podcast. We're so happy to have Dr. Sean here with us.
Hi, everyone.
And today, yeah. So today we're going to talk about, Dr. Sean's journey about, helping athletes, helping a lot of fitness enthusiasts and how they can sort of improve their health. And we're going to talk about, what are the ways in which people can hydrate effectively and how hydrogen water can help in their hydration journey as well. So happy to have you, Dr. Sean. We can get started with, a little bit of introduction and background about you, what you do and how are you helping, a lot of famous athletes and a lot of your patients in their recovery as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Super happy to be here and discuss all that. And yeah, I'm Dr. Sean Plake. I am a doctor of Naprapathic medicine, which is a soft tissue specialty. We work a lot of hands-on work, fix different injuries, issues, pain. Basically, people come with me with various different issues, mostly physically. We do some internal coaching and some work with supplements and stuff too, but basically we're trying to keep people off pain medication and all the hardcore stuff and make sure that they're feeling better just by fixing their bodies with our hands and different tools. But yeah, ultimately I love helping people and that's what got me into this field, and I love making sure that people are healthy in multiple different ways.
Awesome, awesome. That sounds so good. I'm curious to understand, right? Like these days, everyone's talking about chronic inflammation, right? Like inflammation across their bodies. And since you touched upon a subject where people come with their tissue pain, etc., right? Like,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts around chronic inflammation since it's rising a lot these days? Would love to know your thoughts.
Yeah, I'd say like 90% of my people at least have some level of inflammation, right? Like even us, like it's something we battle on a daily basis, no matter what. Chronic inflammation is skyrocketing. We see more and more of that, unfortunately. So it's definitely more difficult to get out of. So we need to attack it from a lot of different angles, right? So I'll see someone and treat them for shoulder pain or for neck pain. I can get them better in the meantime. They'll feel better when they leave, but if they're still exposed to all these things that are causing the extra inflammation, it's gonna come back, and that's kind of my battle. So I've learned over time that I need to coach these people on how to attack whatever issue they're having from multiple different angles. So something like hydrogen water is very helpful. Coaching them on getting proper sleep, avoiding different environmental toxins, even making better decisions on saying, I'm in Vegas, so like people make bad decisions here, right? Las Vegas, Nevada. So just coaching them on toning it down on the drinking a little bit, or the vapes or whatever else, man. So there's a lot that goes into it, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Is I've had to learn how to approach people's pain from a lot of different levels, because you're right, people do have chronic inflammation, and it's increasing, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, the points that you made make a lot of sense, right? Like, I mean, I think the reasons for chronic inflammation, that's very obvious, right?
Mm.
Like you have the lifestyle that changed, the kind of food, the kind of water that you drink, etc., etc. But what I'm interested to know from you is what are the solutions that you see have been most effective? I'm sure you prescribe a lot of solutions to your sort of clients, right? Like to help
Yeah.
improve their inflammation and inflammation. What are the kind of solutions you think have been the most easiest and been the most sticky, right? Like the kind of things that people have ingrained in habits,
Right.
right? Like what have you seen working best? What have you seen is something that is a good solution, but it's hard to implement, right? Like would love to know on the solution side of
Yeah.
things.
So people are looking for kind of a quick magic pill to solve everything, right? So it would be nice to be able to give that to them. Yeah, if it was that easy, then everyone would be healthy and living well. Unfortunately, not the case. The biggest thing is covering the basics, which aren't so basic anymore, just because of how our lifestyle is. But I'm just talking about getting proper sunlight, especially before noon. Like the earlier the better. Getting that sunlight, maybe going out for a walk, proper sleep, and then good high quality water, right? So if someone's still drinking tap water from the faucet, like I don't know what you gotta get quality water.
Yeah,
You can't be doing that. Just all the heavy metals and the toxins and fluoride, everything that's involved with that. So making sure that's like number one right there is making sure they're getting good quality water and they understand why they need quality water and why the other stuff could be bad for them. Um, Neurotoxins from plastics, right? Like people are like, I drink water, and then they just have a big case of water and they're just chugging plastic water bottles that are flimsy and have probably been exposed to high levels of heat, and all that stuff's definitely leaking into their water, even though it's purified and whatnot. Um, but yeah, you're ultimately, even with that purified water, you're still lacking some minerals, right? So you can drink as much of that water as you can, but if you don't have the minerals, it's not exactly hydrating you, right? We know that. So, but not everyone knows that. They don't realize how important magnesium is, getting that sodium, potassium. So I'm huge on electrolytes. So that's number one is getting quality water, electrolytes, and then starting to look into their sleep, right? If they're getting poor sleep, or once again, I mentioned I lived in Vegas, so a lot of it's like nightlife people that I work with, or someone that's staying up till 4 or 5 a.m. They haven't slept, so they're getting to bed at when the sun comes up, and then they have their blackout curtains and stuff. They're never really truly getting sunlight when they're supposed to, so that's going to wreck their circadian rhythm, which is so important to have that functioning properly for so many different factors of your life to go well, right? So those are some things right there, and then proper nutrition, right? So if you're eating out a lot, hopefully I'd like to say people are being more aware of fast food and junk. I know seed oils have been have come to the front a lot more lately, which is good, right? Just eliminating seed oils. That's one of the highest inflammatory things we can ingest, right? Stuff that causes inflammation. So we definitely want to avoid seed oils as much as possible. So people are starting to be a little more aware of that, but a lot of people just hear that from an expert or something, but don't really know why. So that's important is helping them understand the why of all this and putting it all together. And then, yeah, their inflammation is going to be a little bit lower, and then that's going to make them feel better. It's going to make my job a little easier when I'm working with them. Because yeah, that's what I've noticed over the years is just I'm trying to fix something and they're feeling better, and then if they leave my office and they go and have a Starbucks drink that has 60 grams of sugar or whatever else, they go eat a large pizza or something, like that pain's gonna come back pretty quick just because of the inflammation right there. So whatever issue you're dealing with, it's going to be more apparent with things that make you have that inflammation.
no, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I feel like today in America, like it's easier and cheaper to eat junk than to eat
Yeah,
healthy.
that
I think like it's kind of like a system, right? Because which sort of makes it difficult, like for you to even lead a healthy life, right? Like, I mean, the kind of lifestyle where you have to sit all day, right? Like it's not something that has been there for ages, right? It's recent if you think in context of human history, right? And it also spans in context of the food that is there. I mean, seed oils, they started around 1800s, 1900s, right? Like that's when the industrialization for food happened. And I mean, the kind of systems that got created, like, I mean, we know the kind of effects that we're seeing because of
yeah.
that. But one thing, I want to double click on, like, with you, right? Like, you mentioned the importance of hydration, right? Like, I've read some studies which show if you're not hydrating properly, even the supplements that you take, the electrolytes that you take, they are not going to function properly because you cannot absorb the macro and micronutrients if your cells are not hydrated,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's one. And we all know that more than 70% of America is chronically dehydrated,
Yes.
right? And you see all of these like fancy kind of water and things like that coming up, which focus on taste, which focus on, like, I mean, adding some sort of gamification to it. But the problem is, people don't end up drinking the right quantity of water that's required, right? And if they are dehydrated, it affects the entire spectrum of their health, right? So would love to know your, lessons that you prescribe to people, and what are the common faults that you have seen people doing around these kind of hydration problems.
Yeah. So a lot of people, it's you just went without water. So after a good night's rest or however many hours you got, you're not drinking water while you're sleeping, right? So you're gonna wake up a little dehydrated no matter what. So the worst
Mm.
thing that someone can do is get up and chug a cup of coffee. Like that's the first thing that they drink is coffee, something that's a diuretic that actually depletes water from you. People are like, but the coffee has water in it, but it just doesn't work that way. So yeah, just making sure that you're not starting off that cup of coffee, especially if it has creamer and sugar and all this stuff. Definitely, like coffee beans are they can be healthy for you as long as there's no mold, and they're antioxidant as well, right? The beans. So as long as it's good quality coffee, but you don't want to start your day off that way. So for myself, I love to get that water ready immediately. I'll turn my hydrogen water on or put a tab in to some good at least 12 ounces of water, and that's the first thing I have. Room temperature is going to be a little bit better, right? Just to get to your cellular level easier, but that's like the next level of things. But as long as you're getting good water to start with, sometimes a pinch of baking soda is going to be helpful in creating to neutralizing all the acidity from the night, and yeah, we just want to hydrate you from the get-go as you wake up. That way your tissues you're off to a good start. You're not hyper acidic, because these high levels of acidity, especially in the mornings, that's going to put you in a state of, I mean, you're going to feel tighter like immediately from that, just because your nervous system's a little more edgy, and just from the caffeine as well. And then yeah, there's just so many faults to that. So that's the number one thing, is getting your tissues hydrated, your brain hydrated, like just all your entire being hydrated at the cellular level. That's super important. And yeah, man, that's one of the biggest things. And then if you live in a hot climate, especially now during the summer, it's super hot in Vegas. So people are not getting enough water throughout the day. Yeah, you gotta just constantly be getting it in. And then if you can maximize the benefits by, once again, adding some minerals to it, or having the hydrogen water that we're talking about here, it's gonna do so much more for you. And that's kind of where we're at. On a daily basis, I have to educate and teach people on the importance of that.
No, absolutely. I think like one key learning that at least I am taking out from this is it's the importance of the routine, right?
Yeah.
One thing you touched upon is as soon as you wake up in the morning, right? You need to make sure you're hydrated, right? You're not drinking something which will end up dehydrating you,
Mhm.
right? And that is routine, a ritual which you can follow day on day, and then it kind of becomes automatic, right?
Yeah.
I think these are the kind of routines that we need to be having a lot more when we're trying to hydrate people effectively and have positive impact in their health, right? So
Yeah.
definitely, like, I think very crucial point.
Yeah, it's all about routine for sure. Especially in today's age, everyone's all about different trends and stuff, right? Like they have the Saratoga, the guy doing the morning face routine and all that, and like I don't know, people get a little too carried away. Their routine becomes like 2 hours long, and then it's just something that you can't sustain, especially if your schedule changes just a little bit. You have an early flight, or you have a meeting come up or something like that, But yeah, I suggest if someone could get good sleep, get that water in, go out and get sun immediately. 15 minutes. That's what I like to do. I like to get my dog outside right away. We go on a nice little walk around the neighborhood, get that sun in. A lot of times I'll use some methylene blue right beforehand too, and that's huge on for your mitochondrial health, right? So that plus sun exposure, or at least some red light therapy, that's going to be another benefit, and that's what I like to have in my routine. But yeah, there's as many healthy things you can do to start your day off. You're going to have more energy. You're going to feel better throughout the day. You'll probably sleep better at the end of the night as well. So that's what you want to do, is start start with the recipe of success,
Yeah.
and yeah, I help people try to figure that out and how to work that into their lifestyle as well, based on their work schedules and family life and whatnot. But you have to figure that out, right? That's huge.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm so happy that you're actually walking the talk and not just prescribing things to people,
Okay.
right? So, I mean, even myself, right? I like to do boxing. I've been doing it for quite a few years
Mhm.
now, and hydrogen water is something that has been sort of, helping me improve even in my
Yeah.
boxing journey, right? Like my recovery in between, my sort of performance even during my practice and during the matches. I think that's improved significantly. And I think this is also a good sort of segue for us to talk a little bit about your sort of journey with hydrogen
Yeah.
water. How did you came across it, and what has been your experience, right? Like, what are the changes that you've seen?
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I didn't know that you box like that. That's cool, man. You're full on sparring and stuff, and you actually have some matches. You compete a
I
little bit.
mean, I've been on some matches, but like my routine these days don't allow it a
Yeah,
lot. But I mean, I'm regular at practices. I think that's
yeah,
something that I'm happy about, right? Every week, going there
yeah.
consistently
It's
and
huge.
make sure I sweat it out properly.
Yeah,
And I mean, I think that's honestly like one of the best part of my days as
yeah,
well.
yeah. You gotta let that frustration out. It's just a good routine. You're getting sweat. You're getting all the toxins out. That's huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, for my journey with hydrogen water, yeah, I started with tablets probably about 2 years ago, and I kind of did them every now and then. I didn't know a whole lot about it. I just did a little bit of research and was like, oh, let me try this out. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely newer to the space, right? As far as like biohacking and optimizing everything. Hydrogen's more so in the last
Yeah.
few years. I'd say last 6 months is more like mainstream people getting the knowledge and learning about it from various experts. And then yeah, there's a lot more companies like yourself that have taken the initiative to educate people and provide a good product that actually works, because that's part of it too. Is people anytime I post about like me drinking out of a hydrogen water bottle or something, everyone's like, I have one of those, but does it actually work? And people just don't really understand that aspect of what's going on. Yeah, so and I think you could probably explain it better than I can as far as the science goes, on how it works. So I'd love to hear that straight from the founder himself of Dr. Water.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I'm not a medical expert as you are, but I mean, given I've done this a lot
Yeah, all
many
the research.
times, essentially, like what hydrogen water does is it breaks water into hydrogen molecules through electrolysis, and what you're essentially intaking is hydrogen infused
Mm.
water, right? The hydrogen molecules it's the smallest molecule in the world, right? It passes on your blood brain barrier, it reaches to every cell of your body, and it kills the oxidative stress, right?
Yep.
Like I think fundamentally, like a disease at a cellular level is a very simple thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like every cell of yours has certain charge, it has certain stress that happens in your body, whether it's due to your wrong posture, whether it's due to you eating bad things, your bad environment,
Yeah.
right? At a cellular level, it's just that oxidative stress, and you need things to combat that oxidative stress, right? Like whether that's any supplement that you take, whether that's like as simple as something like a green tea. But I think one reason that makes hydrogen water a very effective tool is that you can have a lot more of it,
Right.
right? It's as easy as consuming it with your water. It's nothing like, you need to mix complex sachets or have complex supplements. It's not like that.
Yeah.
It's something that you consume in your daily routine as simple as water,
Oh yeah.
right? And once you keep on consuming it for a couple of weeks, you will start seeing that oxidative stress fundamentally reduces,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that has effects across your gut microbiome. It has effects across your daily performance, your muscle recovery. At any time when, let's say, your stress increases, it's going to make sure it gets balanced, right? So I mean, every person has different effects, right? Like we have a lot of yoga moms in Miami, in even LA,
Mm-hmm.
who have seen improvement in their daily performance.
Yeah.
We have a lot of dads who do, let's say, rock climbing or different kind of adventure sports. they have seen improvements in their performance. We have a lot of old aged women, right? Like even between 50, 60, they have some or the other chronic inflammation in their leg, in their back.
Hmm.
We have seen improvements in that, right? And these are tangible stories of real people in
Yeah.
America, right? And this is what sort of motivates us, what drives us to sort of, you know, bring awareness about this to more and more people so that they can also start seeing the benefits,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So I think that has been my journey with hydrogen water. I've been using it myself. Even my own mom has seen improvements in her gut health.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's something which is a part of our family as well, right? So, and that is how we think about promoting it, right? So I mean, that has been our experience, but would love to hear about your experience as well, right? Like, in
Yeah.
what aspects of life have you seen improvements? What are the kind of routines, like going back to the routine
Mhm.
again, that you have made with hydrogen water?
Yeah, no. So yeah, I was once I was consistent with it, basically once I got like the actual water bottle that does all the electrolysis and everything, and instead of relying on keeping tabs around, and yeah, otherwise you'd have to keep like a handful of tabs in your pocket or something and keep dropping them in your water
Yeah,
throughout the day. So I love that you can just do it
yeah. It
from the actual water
gets
bottle.
messy, right? Like,
What's that?
yeah, the tablets get messy. That's one
Yeah,
thing
they
I've
get a little
seen.
messy and stuff too. Yeah. So yeah, it's good to have both, but yeah, I love having just the water bottle that does it. Especially on the go. I love it for traveling, all those things. But yeah, I noticed a big difference. Like once I actually stayed consistent with it, like you said, after about a week or two, your body really starts
Yeah.
noticing it. And then I track all my data. I have a Whoop band, and then even my Apple Watch. I kind of like I do both. Like I'll get the data from different apps on my Apple Watch, and then yeah, the Whoop tells you quite a bit. A lot of people also have Oura rings too, right? So that's one way you can track it right off the bat to see how well your recovery is. You can track your sleep, your heart rate variability, all those things. And then yeah, that's huge, especially if you're active, if you're working out hard, you're competing in a sport. You can track all those things, which you need your recovery at the optimal level. Especially some of the fighters and stuff I work with, right? Professional MMA fighters, some NFL players, like all of them, they are going to benefit from something like this because they need to maximize their recovery. But not even a professional athlete, like just the daily person that is starting a fitness journey or is just wanting to be healthier. It's so important, and like I said, you can notice the benefits with the data that you're tracking with one of these devices as well. But besides that hard data, like I'll notice as soon as I have that, it's almost like a quick burst of energy, right? So you almost feel like that morning water replaces your coffee in a sense, without making you feel jittery and anxious and some other things that too much caffeine can make you feel. So that's one of the things I just really love about it is as soon as you pop that top, like you can just hear the infusion is like it sounds cool, like you're just ready to
Yeah.
ingest it. I like to chug it.
And it looks nice also. Like the bubbles and
Yeah, the
all.
bubbles are super
It looks
cool.
nice
Yeah, it
as
has
well,
like
right?
sometimes they have colors to them, and yeah, it just makes it kind of fun.
Yeah.
But you just know that it's working for you regardless. And like you said, yeah, it's the smallest particle, so it's getting into those cells, it's crossing the blood brain uh, barrier, and then we're gonna get um, every function of our body is gonna benefit from that, right? So whether it's cognitively, physically, whatever we need, it's helping us at that cellular level. That's the most important thing, and just to get max benefits from the water that you're drinking. So yeah, man, I love it. It helps my workouts tremendously, and yeah, at this point I can't stop. So, and I love to get more people involved now.
Nice, nice. That's so good to
Yeah.
hear. And I mean, would love to know like what are those small rituals or routines that you've built with hydrogen water?
What are the routines that I've started with it?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, yeah, I keep it with me throughout the day. So when I'm treating patients, I'll have a full schedule, say 15 patients, just kind of back to back. As I'm switching one patient out of the office and getting the next one in and stuff, I'll have my big stainless steel water. That stays super cold, so
Yeah.
I'll pour that in my hydrogen go water bottle, or I'll make sure I'll fill a bigger one up. But yeah, regardless, I'll get that going, and then as soon as the timer is off, it's usually about 5 minutes, or you can double up for 10 minutes. Yeah, and as soon as I hear that timer, I pretty much drink it immediately. I'll just chug it. It makes me feel way better. It energizes me right then and there for that treatment as well. So yeah, it helps me sustain my energy throughout the day for sure. And then I know that I'm constantly reminded to keep my water pretty consistent throughout the day instead of going 4 or 5 hours not realizing if I drink water, which I used to do. I'd just be so busy, and I'd have my normal water bottle there, but a lot of times I just wouldn't think about it because I'm not getting a little timer to remind me. So I feel like that's helped me a lot with my routine. Is once that electrolysis happens and it converges and everything, it's like a little alarm. It's like, all right, here, drink some water. Here, drink some water every hour or so. So that's helped me a ton to reach my goals, which is usually I try to get at least like 128 ounces of water a day. Sometimes I'll
Yeah.
get closer to my body weight. But yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
at least at a minimum you want like half your body weight in kilograms. That's like a minimum of water, and then if you can get closer to your full weight, and that's pretty solid. So those are the goals I like to recommend, and do for myself as well. That way we're constantly
Mm.
keeping the tissue hydrated, which is important for how that feels, right? So that's when I explain it to people, um, I basically say that we don't want our tissues to be like beef jerky, right? So beef
Yeah.
jerky is a dehydrated meat. So if your tissues are dehydrated, it's going to be kind of crispy
Yeah,
like that. It's not going to be very pliable. If you
and it will break.
yeah,
It will not stretch. It will
yeah, it can
break.
break. So especially as athletes, yeah, if your tendons dehydrated, they're more likely to get injured, potentially tear.
Yeah.
Right? We just saw an Achilles injury in the MMA finals. So as an athlete, anytime you see
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
go down for an Achilles injury, that's like the worst possible thing you can imagine. Like I immediately was like, oh shoot, I'm gonna hydrate right now. But yeah, we just don't want that tissue to get weakened. We want it to be resilient. So the more hydrated you stay, the more viscosity it has, like the more adaptation it can respond to certain movements in a sport and whatnot, or just your daily activities. So yeah,
Yeah.
hydration is key. It's one of the biggest things, and I can't praise or preach enough about it.
No, makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, like from the points that you mentioned, right? Like one natural question that comes to me is, I mean, you're a medical professional, right? Like, do you think there are enough medical professionals in America today, in the country, that are actually prescribing these kind of like long-term systemic solutions? I mean, we talked about how people are just looking for like one-time fix, right? Like, do you think like enough people in the medical community are prescribing these long-term solutions, or this needs to improve?
It absolutely needs to improve. Yeah, I mean, I feel like almost every doctor should have at least a handout or a video for their patients to watch. Um, even myself, like I'm just like I actually should put a little bit more information into what I give my new patient. I definitely talk about it, right? But sometimes, especially if I'm treating them, some of my treatments can be pretty aggressive, right? So sometimes they're probably not even like
Yeah.
listening, or they're not retaining what I'm saying completely, especially if it's at the beginning of the session versus the end. So if I can give them
Yeah.
more information to take home, and they can keep reiterating and read and get familiar with, like that's super important. So I think almost every MD, whoever's coming to you, whatever issue, whether it's gut issues, whether it's a urinary tract issue, cognitive issues, livers, right? So anyone that's getting blood work and studying all that, like that's where it should start. Once again, that's what we talked about at the beginning of this podcast, is getting the essentials, which is what we had as a kid, right? Like as parents, we were making sure our kid gets that, but then like why aren't we making sure ourselves get that as well? Proper nutrition,
Absolutely.
proper sleep,
Yeah.
all that, you know. So that's kind of what falls off over time. People get lazy, they get into the bad habits, bad routines, and you start missing all those key functions all the baseline that we need. So yeah, we just got to recoach that. We almost have to act like these are our children again, and be like, all right, like it's nap time. Like make sure you make sure the
Yeah.
bowels are regular. You gotta make sure you're getting enough water. You gotta make sure you're eating healthy. Like that's kind of how I think about it at this time. And yeah, I wish more people did, and instead of just trying to prescribe something immediately. So that's what our healthcare, especially in America, has gotten is everyone needs a quick diagnosis. They need to know exactly what's going on, in that sense. Which yes, you do want to know, but you need to once again cover the like allow your body to help heal itself more than just try to get this external trial drug. Like most of these drugs they haven't been around very long.
Yeah.
Like the symptoms, the possible symptoms are insane, right?
Yeah.
Like every time I hear a commercial or something on TV, it's like
Yep.
possible risk for this. Like you can shit your like so many bad things, like explosive diarrhea. Like
Yeah.
you could die from this. It's like why do I want to take something that people have died from? Like let's start with the basics. It's almost like your shoulder hurts, and that's like opting for surgery immediately versus all right, let's try to massage, let's try to stretch, let's try to strengthen it. So
Yeah.
like it all goes hand in hand. We need to establish the foundation and allow your body the proper environment, because the body's amazing. Like it's always trying to achieve homeostasis. So the more tools and the environments and everything we can give it to allow it to flourish, that's huge. That's what we want to.
Yeah.
That's what we want to be to come to as healthcare, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, makes a lot of sense, right?
Mhm.
Like, I think like the last point you mentioned, like, I think fundamentally, again, I'm not a doctor, but what I understand from medicine is most of the medicine just sort of allows our body to heal.
Mhm.
It's not healing the problem, it allows our body to heal. These are two different things, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for most of the diseases, people just prescribe either painkillers or something to just I mean, control the side effects, right?
Mhm.
Because in the end, it's just enabling the body to heal. So even if even the medicines are just doing that,
Yeah.
then why don't you change your lifestyle which will do that, right? Then your food becomes your medicine, right? And that is the world I think we should get to, where your lifestyle itself sort of starts healing you, right? You don't need anything external to do that.
Right.
And I think the points that we talked about like would be really useful, and I think directly implementable for our audience as well. So I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation, Dr. Sean. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for coming to our podcast. And if you have any message to our audience, any ending message, like, would love for you to share it.
Yeah, no, I hope everyone like just got the information from us and realized that how important hydrogen water can be in your journey, as well as once again getting sunlight, getting sleep, like just like the stuff that's just so available to us. Like it's there, just use it. Like that's what we're thriving on anyways, is having everything at our fingertips from our phone, right? That's why it's so easy to eat out and get DoorDash and this and that. Also think about how easy it is to be healthy. We overcomplicate just how easy it could be. All we have to do is make a few different changes in our lifestyle, create some better habits, use what God gave us. It's a lot easier than we think it is. We overcomplicate it once again, and I hope people can take that away from this conversation that we had. Like, just get the basics. You're gonna feel a lot better. Your body's gonna start healing itself. Hydrogen water helps a ton with that. And then get out in the sun. Don't be afraid of the sun. Avoid seed oils. It's pretty simple, but it's just like a checklist. We just gotta follow this and have a daily routine, especially a morning routine, that's easy to start off the day, and then from there you create a good habit, and your lifestyle becomes healthier.
Makes sense.
And then that's how we avoid. That's ultimately how we avoid disease, right? So if our cellular function, if everything's in chaos at a molecular or cellular level, that's when things go wrong. Whether it's autoimmune, whether it's cancer, whether it's just a virus, uh, any of that stuff. It happened. It all starts from our gut as well, right? So most of it starts in our gut.
Yeah.
So if we can create a good environment for our gut, especially when we're recovering off of like coming off antibiotics, that's huge, right? That's
Yeah.
huge. I've experienced some issues with that, as like a kid growing up and stuff that I've had to overcome. But yeah, hydrogen water is great for the gut health, as well as all the other things I mentioned. So that's where it all starts. Make sure you have a good, healthy environment, and you're gonna be less likely to have disease, and that's ultimately what we just want everyone to be thriving and less cancers to take people's lives and all that, man. So I
Yeah,
appreciate you, man.
that
Thank you for
that
your
makes a
time.
lot of sense. Yeah, and thank you so much, Dr. Sean. I think like there's a lot we can learn from our
Yeah,
conversation. I mean, I've learned a lot from this conversation, and I hope more and more people sort of starts imbibing this, and we can all, try and make America healthier.
yeah.
So with that,
I stand behind.
we I
I
thank
stand
you.
on that. Make America healthy again for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Sean. And with that, uh, let's just end the podcast.
All right, perfect. Yeah, sorry.